Yeah, by the way, my name is Gilbert. I've been here in Rwanda for more than 29 years. I came here in early 95 and I work with so many companies in the country, and I see how the country has been developed. Very high speed. Finally, I got my citizenship, and I'm very proud to be one of them, one of the Rwandese citizens. And today, I believe that this is my right to choose. I'm very happy, and I'm very, I'm very surprised the way how the Commonwealth of Rwanda has been organized the election. Very well organized and very peaceful. You cannot compare, by the way. If I may say, in my current country, in the Philippines, election is always trouble every now and then, because I don't know, it's sad to say that the people doesn't accept. For me, with my 29 years experience in Rwanda, it's what I can say, it's very peaceful and it's very well organized, and people follow and obey the rules and regulations during the election. This is what I'm very happy with.
Koloba, welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Frederick Goloba Mtevi. I'm an independent researcher and analyst. Your Excellency, I've had the good fortune to follow you around throughout this campaign. And there are two issues that have come to my mind that I thought I should ask you about. One of them is almost at every rally, you've been giving this message to young people to step up and take responsibility for the gains Rwanda has made in the last 30 years. You keep going back to it at every rally. And I've been wondering, is there a deeper message in this, or is this just what we see? Are you saying something deeper than what seems apparent? The second question, Your Excellency, is watching all your rallies, it strikes me that the RPF is a formidable political machine. Clearly, anyone who looks at it can see it. I'm wondering what it is that you and others in the RPF are doing to ensure that when you're gone, this thing we see going up doesn't go down.
Yeah. Well, really the message, whether deeper or what it has been all along, is the young people understanding and feeling that they are the ones who hold responsibility for their lives, the lives of everybody in the country, and especially in the near future, they are the leaders. It's what I'm raising and alerting them about. It's not tomorrow that I'll tell them that. It should be yesterday that they became aware of that. So that is the only essence, the real essence of repeating that message. And the progress that has been made, that people refer to under the RPF and so on and so forth. Yes, in fact, happened. Even the liberation itself happened with the young people taking responsibility for all that. Even when I became president, I think I was still in my 30s. And The others who are everywhere doing different important things are much younger than me. So I'm only telling them that it is now that you young people should be thinking about this responsibility you have to yourselves and to the country. So that is, and again, it actually links with the second question you've asked. Once people grow up understanding their responsibilities and that things that don't happen or that you don't wait until somebody else comes to your rescue and helps you on different things. It is that group of people that from whom there will emerge leaders who step forward and even be leaders of this country and one way or another. And with the sense of responsibility comes the understanding of the story where you have come from and where you are and where you want to be. So if there has been some level of success with my leadership, it can't be me alone, but also it doesn't mean that it is only me alone that can succeed as we lead this country. So it just comes from that conversation, it comes from the experience and what you see, the results, and the moment you go through a number of years following the story and associating the message with the results, I think many people are formed by that and are helped by that to go beyond just the ordinary and thinking they are there just to be led, but also can aspire to lead. That's what gives, otherwise there is no mathematical formula that you can apply and say this and this and this and this put together, you will always come out like that. So this is why I'm saying I cannot tell what is going to happen when the current crop of leaders, whether it is the RPF or government, that what will follow will either be a disaster or will be better, or I have no formula to, and I think nobody has that formula anywhere, whether here or anywhere else. But you keep investing the right way. You invest in people, like through education, for people to have good health and have, but also to have clarity of mind as to what countries, people, societies are, and what these real aspirations are. And they are the only ones, they are mainly the ones who can make things happen. So I have no other way of telling, of foretelling what, but I try to do what I think matters in preparation for the future by the people that are around, especially the young people who, and what I see encourages me now when throughout the campaigns and campaign rallies, I think you can see people and feel assured that they are there for a purpose, they know what they are doing, maybe, and they will do it when that time comes.
VOA.
Hello, Mr. President. My name is Mariama Diallo. I'm the Nairobi Bureau Chief for VOA. So a lot of my questions have been asked, but I do want to follow up on that, the post-Kagame era. You just talked about leaders come and go, but good leaders also plan. So you talk about your party haven't been able to find somebody, but my question to you is, would you be participating in grooming that next person who's going to be here to continue the work that you've done? My second question has to do with what just happened in Kenya with President Ruto. You were just there recently participating in the African Development Bank meeting. So I'm just curious to know, have you spoken to President Ruto about the recent event that has happened in his country? Given that the issue that he's dealing with has to do with Gen Zs, the youth, and their preoccupation. And I think that's not an issue just to Kenya. It's, are you worried about something like that could have repercussions in the region? I just covered elections in Senegal, and those young people had the same issues that the Kenyan youth has, which is the high cost of living, basically jobs. So just wondering for you what you think about the events that have happened in Kenya, and are you worried that it could spread in the region? Thank you.
Yeah, but I think the first question has really more or less been answered. But let me add, I don't like this whole idea of grooming. Grooming focuses on one person or another. I prefer doing it generally. Like when I talked about encouraging young people, then government making investments in their future, like education, like business, health, and so on and so forth. And then that part of politics always being there, reminding them, hey, you guys wake up. This is your responsibility. You can't just be there. So from among them, one or two, or whatever number you want, among these people, there will always be somebody to play that role. You would be grooming somebody, a specific person for. This is why I told the party last time, recently, that, in fact, I told them openly, it's like maybe you were even listening to me, but the question was answered then. I told them, I said, I'm not going to name anybody for you to lead you. You be the ones to look for somebody to lead you from among us. These people sitting here, we were about 3,000 in this, some other place where there is a big conference hall. And I was telling everybody, I said, I'm not going to anoint somebody for you. You be the ones, you keep looking around and appreciating people and doing that, and from that bunch of people, you should have a leader you want, but not the leader you point a finger at and say, this is going to be your leader. Actually, that is a recipe for maybe the disaster you keep referring to, after me, after me. I don't want to leave somebody and leave a disaster for the people after me. So if they choose a disaster, it will be their disaster they have chosen, not the one I have given them. I don't want to be associated with that. So there is, but once the politics and then doing the things that matter to people. But once you interest people in politics and they become part of it, they always have somebody, fairly and maybe justifiably chosen from among them to lead. So then what you said about, I don't very much like, again, talking about other countries or other societies and what they have, whether it is progress or it is problems or whatever. People will always emerge out of that and they address their own problems. So that Gen Z you're talking about that should not always be associated with being part of the problem, where things explode and no. Actually, they should be part of preventing that but of course, I fully understand what that means. It all comes down to politics. If these young people are involved from the beginning and a culture grows where the young people participate and in the good politics of any country, then they don't end up just being, people demonstrating on the streets, destroying this or that. No, they actually end up being part of a situation or creating it that prevents that from happening. And that, therefore, that calls for them to be linked right from the beginning with the politics and even above, where the higher leadership is, down to that level of this generation. There must be communication that enables them to, and so that things they complain about don't happen in one incident, in one explosion of things. And no, but that flow of grievances happens in the daily life, and then there is always going to be a way of addressing that, and therefore preventing some disasters from happening. Otherwise, I always keep off other people's affairs. I have no lessons for anybody. I'm stuck with my own problems, trying to deal with them on a daily basis. So I can't add on that burden of even assuming too much that I have an answer for other people's problems. So but every situation has problems, but there is also a way to address those problems. But it is the people of any country that we have to deal with that.
Thank you, sir. We can take two last questions.